There's a new development, which is recovery of classical virtue ethics called narrative ethics. And narrative ethics is, of course, a reference to stories, to narration, the telling of a story. But it means something much more than that, at least for some narrative ethicists. The vast majority of narrative ethics and narrative theories deal with how stories have an impact on their spectator, on the one who reads the story, the one who watches the story, whether it's a play, it's a book, or a movie. That has an impact on us. We come to understand things. They're revelatory. They also reveal things to us about our own feelings, and they're educational. Some say they're therapeutic regarding our own feelings, our own sentiments, that we learn a lot from stories. But narrative ethics, in the deepest sense, actually indicates something much more powerful, something much more at the root of the human being, what we could call an anthropological claim. And the anthropological claim at the basis of narrative ethics, in the strong sense, is that our very moral life has the structure of a story, such that we tell stories because we live a story. We like stories and we learn from stories because our lives have the structure of a story. To put in other terms, the moral agent, or to be constituted as a moral agent, to be a moral agent, is to be a protagonist of a story, is to be an actor within a theatrical drama, which is on the stage of the world, before spectators, who are the people who know us, and God above, who sees everything. This is the moral life. It is to be the author, the protagonist, and the actor, to be a character in a story, of one's own story. So, of course, another step that narrative ethics asks is, well, what kind of story should I live? Well, don't we want a happy end? Don't we want to achieve success? And that's what comedies are about, in the deep sense comedies. There are comedies that just make us laugh. But there are other comedies which we break out with joy, perhaps tears of joy at the end of the story. And that's what a divine comedy is. We can find roots of this kind of narrative ethics in the classical tradition. We can find in Aristotle, we can find in St. Augustine, we can find in St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas, in fact, says explicitly that the beginning of the moral life, certainly for someone who hasn't been baptized, is constituted by the capacity to turn oneself towards one's due end. And that one has a tremendous obligation to do so. We all do. And to do so constantly, to seek unity in life. The unity of our lives is given by the plot which shapes our lives. And hopefully that plot is truly a divine comedy, such that we can live happily ever after.